Lack of cohesion. Maintain a logical flow between studies. In writing Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature, one of the most common challenges is ensuring cohesion, the logical flow and connection between different studies. A literature review should not be a random collection of summaries, but a well-structured, analytical synthesis that helps readers understand how various studies relate to each other and to the research topic. When cohesion is lacking, the literature review may feel disjointed, confusing, or difficult to follow. Researchers must ensure that studies are connected meaningfully to create a clear, well-argued foundation for their research. This section explores why lack of cohesion occurs, its consequences, and practical strategies for maintaining logical flow between studies in a literature review. Why does lack of cohesion occur in literature reviews? A literature review may lack cohesion due to the following reasons. A. Listing studies without analysis. Some researchers summarize each study separately without showing how they relate to each other. Example of a disjointed review. Smith, 2009, studied online learning and found that it improves student engagement. Brown, 2021, focused on student performance and found mixed results. Garcia, 2022, examined challenges in online education and identified motivation as a key issue. This reads like a list of unrelated studies instead of a coherent discussion. B. Jumping between unrelated topics, lack of organization, can make the literature review feel scattered. Example: a section on social media and mental health suddenly shifts to digital learning tools without explanation. C. Weak or missing transitions. No linking sentences between studies can make the discussion abrupt and disconnected. Example: social media impacts mental health negatively. Smith, 2020. Some studies show positive effects. Brown, 2021. How are these studies connected? The reader is left confused. D. Lack of thematic or chronological structure. Studies are arranged randomly instead of following a clear method, e.g., thematic or chronological organization. Consequences of a literature review without cohesion. Disorganized review affects the clarity and effectiveness of the thesis. A. Confuses the reader. Jumping between topics without transitions disorients readers, making it hard to follow the discussion. B. Weakens research justification. The literature review should logically lead to the research problem. A disconnected review fails to justify why the study is needed. C. Reduces credibility. Lack of organization suggests poor critical thinking and weakens the research's academic impact. Strategies to maintain logical flow in a literature review. To avoid a lack of cohesion, researchers must organize, connect, and synthesize studies effectively. Below are key strategies. A. Organize studies. Thematically or chronologically, instead of presenting studies randomly, follow a clear structure. Thematic organization. Group studies based on common themes or variables. Chronological organization. Present studies in order of publication to show how research evolved. Example of thematic organization. Theme: the impact of social media on academic performance. Subtheme: 1. Positive effects. Subtheme: 2. Negative effects. B. Use strong transitions between studies. Connect studies with linking phrases that show relationships, e.g., similarities, contradictions, gaps. Example of a strong transition. While Smith, 2020, found that social media improves collaboration. In online learning, Brown, 2021, reported that excessive social media use leads to lower academic performance. These conflicting findings suggest that the effects of social media depend on how it is used. This transition smoothly connects studies instead of listing them separately. C. Compare and contrast studies. Show relationships between studies, how they agree, contradict, or build on each other. Example of comparison and contrast: study findings, Comparison Smith, 2020, social media improves student collaboration. Supports. Positive effects. Brown, 2021. Social media can distract students, contradicts Smith, 2020, Garcia, 2022. The effect of social media depends on usage patterns. Synthesizes both studies. This visual format enhances cohesion by showing how studies relate. D. Use a conceptual framework. Create a diagram or model that shows how different studies connect. Example: conceptual framework on social media and learning outcomes. Independent variable, social media use, mediating factors, study habits, engagement, distractions, dependent variable, academic performance. This framework visually organizes key studies to maintain cohesion. End each section with a summary wrap up each section by connecting findings back to the research. Topic: example of a section summary. The studies reviewed indicate that social media's impact on learning is complex. While some research highlights benefits, Smith 2020, others report distractions, Brown 2021. This suggests that the nature of social media use, rather than its presence alone, determines academic outcomes. This study will further explore this relationship by examining specific social media behaviors among students. This reinforces the logical flow and connects the review to the current research. At F, use signposting to guide readers. Use phrases like, "This section explores." In contrast to previous studies, building on earlier findings. Example of signposting. Previous studies have focused on general social media effects. However, recent research explores specific platforms such as Instagram and TikTok, Garcia 2023. This shift highlights the need to examine platform-specific behaviors, which this study will address. This keeps the reader oriented within. The discussion. Key. Checklist for ensuring cohesion in literature review. Before finalizing Chapter 2, ask, does each study connect logically to the next? Are there clear transitions between sections? Have you compared and contrasted studies instead of listing them? Is the literature review structured thematically or chronologically? Have you used summaries to reinforce cohesion? Have you included diagrams or tables to show relationships? If the answer to all these questions is yes, your literature review maintains a strong logical flow. Conclusion: creating a cohesive chapter. 2A literature review should not be a mere collection of summaries. It must be a well-connected, analytical discussion that leads to the research problem. By ensuring logical flow, strong transitions, and synthesis of studies, researchers create a cohesive and impactful review. Final tip: read your literature review aloud, or ask a peer to review it. If they struggle to follow the connections between studies, revise for better cohesion. A well-structured, logically flowing Chapter 2 strengthens the overall quality of the thesis. If you find this content helpful, subscribe to stay updated. On the next tips for writing Chapter 2, feel free to comment below with topics you'd like us to cover in future content. Thank you.